Welcome to Family Law Talk, presented by Kirk Stange of Stange Law Firm, PC. Stange Law Firm is a family law firm in the St. Louis metro area with offices in Missouri and Illinois. Now, here's your host, Kirk Stange.
Welcome to Family Law Talk. My name is Kirk Stange, and I am one of the managing partners of Stange Law Firm, which is a family law firm with multiple offices in Missouri and Illinois in the St. Louis metro area. Well, welcome today to Family Law Talk with Stange Law Firm. Today's topic is an interesting one. The title of the topic is Study Shows Forgiveness Can Overcome Infidelity, and this is based on a study done out of the University of Missouri, Kansas City that's gotten quite a bit of publicity. It was even reported on the Huffington Post. So it's been reported and definitely has been getting a lot of attention. So we'll get to that topic here in just a minute. But before we get into that and delve into it deeper, I should state, as I always do, that the choice of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements, and that the information you obtained today in this episode is general in nature, and obviously it may not apply to specific factual or legal circumstance. Therefore, if you need legal advice, you should definitely consult and hire an attorney who is licensed and competent to practice law in your specific jurisdiction. All right, well, on to the topic itself. Again, the topic is Study Says Forgiveness Can Overcome Infidelity, and this is based on a study from the University of Missouri, Kansas City, and we actually have an article relative to the study on our webpage, stcharlesdivorceattorneysblog.com. And so as a follow-up to the episode today, you can go to stcharlesdivorceattorneysblog.com, and you can look at the article dated May 1st, 2014, and that'll give you more information on this topic. And it actually takes you to a link to a story on the Huffington Post, and then the Huffington Post story actually has a link to a brief synopsis of the study. It's pretty brief, but it's on psychnet.apa.org, and it gives you even more information on this topic. But in some ways, I think the topic is kind of straightforward, but in a lot of ways, it brings up, I think, a couple of concepts, a couple of ideas that I think are different maybe than what folks might think. But I mean, let's go through this. Obviously, infidelity and cheating a horrible thing, and obviously it's a breach of trust in marriage, and is a big cause for a lot of divorce out there. And so, parties who cheat on their spouse, it's not a good thing. And obviously, the spouse who's been cheated upon, they feel betrayed. And this is not, I would say, the only cause for the breakup of marriages. I'd say at our firm we see a lot of marriages break up for a lot of different reasons apart from cheating, even though cheating is kind of the sensationalized reason people come up with divorce. And I think a lot of people probably attribute, cheating to the lion's share of the divorces. And I don't know, that may or may not be true. We see a lot of cases where, the marriage is just irretrievably broken, where people just kind of grow apart. And they have kind of different viewpoints of the world and the way they want to live their life. And we see a lot of that, kind of just the no-fault, uncontested divorce where nobody's done anything particularly wrong. The marriage just kind of fell apart. And then oftentimes cheating can happen in marriages. But what we tend to see in a lot of instances, and again, this isn't always the case, but in happy marriages, there can be cheating, kind of that surprise cheating that takes somebody completely off guard. But what we see a lot of, and I would say what I see more of at times, is that cheating can be a byproduct of a marriage that hasn't been going very well for a long period of time. So you have cases where the cheating is like a surprise and it happens in a fantastic marriage, but you have some cases where, like I say, the marriage just wasn't going good for a long period of time. Maybe the parties were sleeping in separate bedrooms, kind of living separate lives, and then the cheating later came in the marriage. But regardless, when you get past that, and then you get into how some couples are able to overcome the cheating and save their marriage, that's where this study is pretty key and pretty important. And what the study itself shows, and again, I'm just citing this study. Obviously, I'm not a psychologist, and I didn't conduct this study. I'm just kind of reading the results of this study conducted at the University of Missouri, Kansas City. But forgiveness is the key factor here, that in marriages where there's cheating, if the parties want to reconcile, forgiveness must be achieved is sort of the key key takeaway from the study, in that time, the passage of time, the expression of commitment, so in other words, kind of a recommitment, those are okay things, but the key component that actually results in a marriage being saved is forgiveness, and the forgiveness has to come from the spouse who was cheated upon. And so that's kind of the moral of the study itself. And so, that forgiveness has to come, and that can come through therapy. It can come through discourse between the parties themselves. But the result of the study is that for a marriage to work after there's been cheating, the spouse who's been cheated upon has to forgive the other spouse. And obviously, when you look at the Huffington Post article too, which cites a study, and they're kind of, the study is not really related specifically to cases where there's serial cheating. So in cases where one spouse continually cheats, and it's continuous and happens frequently, I think you kind of throw the study out in a lot of respects. This focus sort of focuses on single instances of cheating or maybe an affair with one person that took place for a while that has now ended. So I think the study itself kind of denotes that cheating has stopped, it has ended, and then again, the moral is the party who's been cheated upon, they have to forgive the other spouse for the marriage to work. And then if that happens, the study references kind of the scientific term, which I thought was kind of interesting. And when I was reading the study, I focused on this multiple times just to make sure that I was getting it as somebody who's not from a scientific background in terms of my education. But there's this term that they use called post-traumatic growth, or PTG, and the researchers behind the study describe PTG as a process of interpersonal struggle, which suggests that unlike an interpersonal experience shared by two or more people, like the forgiveness itself, the process of strengthening the relationship comes from within the wrong spouse. So, in other words, the study concluded that theoretically, if forgiveness can come from the wronged spouse, so if the wronged spouse, the one who didn't cheat, can forgive the other spouse, it can actually result in a strengthening of the marriage, which I think is maybe the controversial part of the study, maybe the part of the study that might rub some people a little bit wrong, cause some resistance. I know, like I said, I focused on that piece of it myself, but at least according to this data and this study and the people that did the research here, the moral and the theme is that if forgiveness can come in instances of a single instance of cheating that has stopped, that actually the marriage itself can become stronger past that. So that is the kind of the interesting piece to the study, like I said. I think it's definitely interesting, definitely something that for the folks out there maybe are in a marriage where cheating has occurred, they're trying to wrestle with it and figure out, how they can overcome it if they're looking to save the marriage. This is definitely a study to read, one to look at. It definitely has interesting data that I think the folks out there will like. So again, as a follow-up to the episode today, you can go to stcharlesdivorceattorneysblog.com. That's stcharlesdivorceattorneysblog.com. Look at the article dated May 1st, 2014, titled UMKC Study, Forgiveness Can Overcome Infidelity. Read that as a follow-up to today's episode. Definitely interesting topic, and I want to thank all the listeners for tuning in today with Family Law Talk with Stange Law Firm. Stay tuned. Our next episode coming up very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to Family Law Talk with Kirk Stange. Visit StangeLawFirm.com for more about today's topic, or to put Stange Law Firm to work for your family today.
Get great holiday savings with digital coupons at Safeway. This week at Safeway, get bone-in USDA choice beef ribeye roast for $5.97 per pound with digital coupon. Limit one while supplies last. Plus, get large gold pineapple for just 97 cents each with digital coupon. Limit one. Also this week at Safeway, get bone-in signature select classic ham, shank half or whole, for only 87 cents per pound with digital coupon. Limit 2 items. Visit Safeway.com or head in store for more deals.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.